Hi everyone, we're here again for another rtcStats live, which is essentially an explainer of what it is that we've done or are doing. And this time it's for April. I think we've got 3 new things, one that has already been shipped and two that have been shipped and one that is upcoming. And we'll start with compute pressure. We'll have a post on that later today also on the website. So let's start. Let me share the screen. And this is how compute pressure looks. Philip, do you want to explain a bit what it is and what we've added on the open source rtcStats.js part?
So compute pressure is an API that I think was pioneered by Intel in Chromium. It basically gives you a callback that tells you, what state is the CPU in? Is it doing okay, or is it getting too hot?
Now, it's not too granular. It's not as if you get 60% CPU load.
Yes, you only get 4 different values. And that basically tells you, okay, everything is okay. Okay, we're seeing some pressure, more pressure, and it's really critical.
Okay. I guess that's more than what we get from quality limitation reason in getStats, because there it only says CPU, not CPU in a way. And it only does that if you're doing video encoding, nothing else.
Yes.
And this works like every time, all the time.
Yes, yes. This is in particular for decode. This gives you information you didn't have before.
So now if our users take rtcStats.js, the latest release, they run it, then rtcStats is going to collect that information as well.
Yes, and it is going to collect that in a way that is similar to webrtc-Stats. So it's integrating with the getStats data, which means you get the same data in the same graphs where you look at the other values.
Okay.
So,
and Olivier, how does it look like at the end of the day? Can you guide us through the UI itself?
Yeah, so if we go to the streams, it has been integrated like any other metrics. So for that, we added a small bar above the chart.
This one?
Yes, exactly.
No, sorry.
This one, yeah. And from that, you can see the different level of CPU pressure that occur during the session.
So we have the green, orange, and red.
Exactly.
And these two are the quality limitation areas. And this gives us a more granular view of the points in time where there is high load, which is the red.
Exactly.
yes,
And this goes across all of the charts.
It gives you more information than the CPU limitation.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the first thing that was added, and it's available today to all users of rtcStats.com, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and everyone who's using the JavaScript.
Yes. Okay. The second one that I want to talk about that already released was the embeddable capability. So today, the enterprise customers can take the UI, this view in a way, and embed that into their application without going through our dashboards at all. That gives them the ability to do 2 separate things. The first one is if you have someone at the NOC looking at his own dashboard, you don't want him to log into another system and have 2 separate dashboards. So that reduces that load from the user, reduces clicks and moving between windows. The other thing, which is a lot more powerful, is if you're running a cloud service for your own customers and users, you can use that in the dashboards that you share with them and have that information available for them. We have already a client that is planning to integrate it exactly for that purpose. So what we did here is Olivier built a kind of an application, and we're going to share it on GitHub as well publicly, so you can use that. So what happens here exactly, Olivier?
So here we are in a customer website, customer portal, and the possibility here is to add an iframe that will connect and load our viewer so directly in that website. So this is what happens. Yes, for example, if you click off one of the call, that will link to a session to rtcstat.com.
So everything around that The black and the gray here is not related to rtcStats at all. That's like your own website. And then we've embedded this as an iframe inside that page.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
and I can move on and switch between the streams and connections, go through the tabs, and do everything that I would have done internally as well. Show the knowledge base. Nice. Okay. So that's the ability to embed. That's the second thing. This has already been released. The third one is something that we're finished working on, but haven't released yet. This is going to be a part of our next release within 2 weeks' time. Let me find that. Let's go back here to the analysis and go to the geolocation part. So this again is something that goes into the gap that we have between webrtc-internals and rtcStats JS and rtcStats server and rtcstats.com. What we did here was say, well, we've got an anonymizer where you can upload the file. It removes all of the IP addresses. Now, rtcStats server, which collects the data on the open source side in your data center, has everything that it needs, but it also scrubs that information before storing it locally, and definitely before sending it and uploading it to rtcstats.com. The idea here is to maintain privacy of everyone. Now, one thing that rtcStats server can do in that time between anonymizing and storing locally, is it can take the IP addresses that it sees before anonymizing them and run geolocation on them. Only thing you need to do is to download the Maxmind database after you install rtcStats or part of the installation. And then that's exactly what it will do, correct?
Yes. Basically, it will resolve the IP addresses to a location and put that into the file in addition to the obfuscated IP address.
Okay. And then that information now appears that we did in the last release. But now we also take that information and put it into the UI in the upcoming release. Where should I head to here, Olivier?
In the connection tab.
Okay.
So for each peer connection, yes,
Okay.
we have added the information we collect from the candidate and their associated information, so the country, continent, and city, if we have.
Okay, so this is a user in Germany connected to a remote service in Germany. The turn servers are
calling me.
Yes, the turn servers are in Germany as well. And that wherever we have an IP address, now it simply shows the actual location.
Yes. And I mean, what we've seen with a lot of the showcases is that people have a turn server across the Atlantic. And this makes it very easy to see that you have this kind of issue.
Okay. And this is coming in the next release. So that's it for today, I think.
Yes.
So come check us out at rtcstats.com. We have a service that is usable and as open source and free without paying anything or even putting a credit card. And you're up with an useful observability platform for webrtc. If you need more, you can also pay for our subscription services and support services. So see you with us next month for the next update that we'll have on rtcStats. And we stop.